Hey everyone, today I want to show you one of my favorite things to do in the Cycle Frontier, and that's a jungle run. I recorded this run at the end of Season 1. I knew that Season 2 would have some big changes with Jeffs, and so I wanted to compare what a jungle run would look like in Season 1 and Season 2. My goal on this run was to try to kill every single Jeff in the jungle, or die trying. To do this, I brought a hammer with a silencer. This is one of my favorite loadouts for hunting Jeffs. Additionally, I brought a blue backpack and green armor. I'm not going to need a purple backpack just to carry some bone plates. I dropped in over by Woodcutter Camp. Let's skip ahead, you don't need to see me run the whole way into the jungle. Now this is the very first Jeff. One of the things that I like to do when fighting this Jeff is to shoot him from afar, because sometimes there are other mobs along with him, and they're faster. That means they'll run up on me, and I can kill them before Jeff manages to get to me. In this case, there weren't any other mobs, so I advance and shoot Jeff in the face. You can see how much extra damage you do whenever you target his weak spot. And that's our first Jeff down. He also dropped a marauder flesh for me too. I decided to mine this focus crystal. I don't really need to, and it's not the point of this run, but how can I give up the free loot? Old habits die hard. To get to the next Jeff, I have to go through this field, which has a couple striders in it. Let's keep track of the other mobs that we killed too. Why not? This next Jeff has a rattler nearby, so I'm going to take it out first. It's really annoying when both they and the Jeff are spitting stuff at you. You can see just how much more damage you do whenever you hit Jeff's crit spot. It's a much, much faster way of taking him down. The disadvantage is that you have to hit that crit spot, or else he's going to swipe you to death. Sometimes I struggle to find the bone plates. They're not always in an obvious location. Now, this Jeff over here is down below. Instead of getting his crit spot, I'm just going to shoot him a bunch of times so you can see how much longer it takes whenever you don't hit him in his open mouth. Sometimes it can be a little bit safer, but you're also making a lot more noise, and if there are other people in the jungle, even though I have a silencer, they might hear me and come try to kill me. So it's really a trade-off. Once you're more confident, as long as there aren't any other mobs around, getting up in Jeff's face is definitely the best way to kill him, at least back in Season 1. Mining some more focus crystals. I decided to mine these ones because I almost never actually do. They're kind of out of the way for my normal run, so I figured why the heck not. Worst case scenario, if I have too much loot, I can always drop them for something more valuable later. Normally I fight this Jeff from the ground on the bottom right, but I decided since I'm never up here, I might as well give it a shot up here too. As you can see, it's back to pot shots that take way too long because of the lack of being able to hit Jeff's crit spot when he's in this kind of mode. So I'd much rather run down to the ground next time. Being at range also means you're vulnerable to Jeff's ranged attack, which can hit you in the face for a ton of damage. Luckily, he's almost dead anyway, so I finish him off before healing up. Next, we're going to backtrack a little bit and go to this Jeff that's down in this little valley, next to an abandoned drop pod. There's another strider down here with him, so I take it out first before advancing. A couple of shots later, and we've taken out another Jeff. Over here in the far west corner of the jungle, sometimes there's an additional Jeff, but I didn't see one in this particular run. You're not guaranteed that they spawn in every single time. Sometimes you'll also see them on the path to the crashed ship, but I didn't see one there either. Time to head to jungle camp. At jungle camp, also no Jeff. This is actually one of the easiest Jeffs to kill by using this building to dodge his attacks. There were only a couple striders, however. Oh well. At the very least, it means we get a nearly free armory key check, which is pretty cool. Fortunately, I don't get very good loot in the armory. Oh well. They said they buffed the loot tables in Season 2, but I haven't managed to find an armory key yet to check. Keep heading southeast across this bridge. Sometimes there's 2 Jeffs up here, and sometimes they have additional mobs, so I'm gonna do that classic strategy of shooting them from afar. There was a Strider with Jeff, so that was a good idea. Unfortunately, I get a little too greedy, and I forget how many bullets are in my magazine, and Jeff pulls off some attacks. I'm gonna back up a little bit, heal, and then finish him off. Better safe than sorry. I thought about retreating to the crashed ship, but as I started heading over there, I heard some shots in the distance. It's only a bulldog, but I'd still rather not get killed. Let's just rotate around him instead and go see if these other Jeffs are over here. There's a lot of Striders here sometimes, so I'm just gonna start off by shooting at them. If there's a Jeff, he'll make his presence known. And in fact, there he is. No reason to waste time, especially since there's another person in the jungle, so time to get right up in Jeff's face and shoot him hard. This Jeff dropped 2 plates as well as a marauder flesh. Awesome. Now, many times I'll just end my jungle run here, but since I'm trying to kill every single Jeff in the jungle within reason, I'm gonna go get these 2 other Jeffs that are over here. There's 1 Jeff over here behind this ridge, but there's often a lot of Striders, so I'm gonna do my classic shoot from a distance strategy. Sometimes Jeff is really lazy, and it takes him forever to get over here. I do hear some Striders as well, but I don't see them yet. So I just decided to start taking some pot shots at Jeff. He decides to stop and just stand right here, which is very strange. I don't really understand why that happens. But then the other Striders show up, so I'm kind of glad. If he decided to charge at me while 3 of these Striders were charging at me, that would have been a lot more of a pain in the butt. All right, now that the Striders are dead, time to finish off Jeff. All right, 1 more Jeff time. This one's really easy to kite around this tree that's in front of me. If you jump up in front of it, he'll try to melee attack you, but if you jump behind it, he won't follow you. Unfortunately, he decides to get into his range attack mode, and I get a little stuck and get hit. Oh well, I have a ton of meds. Shoot him a couple more times, and there's our last Jeff. I don't need all this ammo. I'd much rather have the marauder flesh. All right, let's head to evac. My evac is in rock pools, so I'm gonna head through comms tower. Maybe I'll get lucky and find another Jeff. And I do. Here's 1 more Jeff. I decide to engage him at range just in case there's somebody else in this area since I haven't been around it yet. I don't know if I'm about to get shot at. But once I get him down to fairly low health, it's time to run forward and get him done so I can get out of here before the storm arrives. All right, time to head to evac. Unfortunately, there was 1 more surprise along the way. It's a dead body. This makes me really worried. Is somebody about to camp my evac? Am I about to be killed with all of this loot? I've got 11 bone plates. There's a little bit of gunfire off in the distance, but the storm is coming, and it's now or never. So I decided to pick up some loot and then just keep on trucking. A couple of seconds later, I'm in my evac ship, no troubles. Let's see what loot I got. 68,000 K marks, 3 Jeff fleshes, 11 bone plates, and 9 focus crystals, including 1 pure focus crystal. Not too bad for just 1 run. As I mentioned in the start of this video, I filmed this in Season 1. If you want to see my Season 1 recap, it'll be right here. And in the near future, I'll post an updated Jeff killing guide for Season 2. When that's ready, I'll link it right here. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there, prospectors.